Well, I was a little disappointed in the season. Not that I'm disappointed. I mean, I went out there and I hunted hard and I got in my stuff. I think the biggest disappointment was not anticipating the pressure and falling into the game of going to, the great spots. And if they're great spots, everybody else is seeing them too. And that just ain't working anymore. I really have to, if I want to stay in the game for the big bucks, really stick to the plan of going where people don't go. And I just have to find more ways to hunt the spots where them things live, where people won't go after them because of the terrain and because of the tree cover and stuff. And that's where I'm going to shoot the bigger bucks. And I'm going to see a lot less deer doing that.
Yeah.
I already hunt those areas. I just don't hunt them as much as what I think I need to start doing. I've always had these like fallback areas where I could go in and I could really quickly get on something, in the 140, 150 range. And I can't do that anymore. You just go into those areas and they're littered with trail cameras. And if there's a buck there, they're littered with guys. If there's not a buck there, you got it to yourself. The cameras tell everybody where the deer are. So it's kind of tough. I actually do better on these big swamps and stuff when you start seeing a million cars showing up, because that means that there's something in there that those people are seeing on camera. You actually, instead of going away from the pressure, it's 180 to now you go towards the pressure, because the pressure means there's one there, because everybody's got cameras and everybody knows where these deer are. So it's a combination of things. I got to follow the pressure, and I got to follow going into the spots where it's so hard to hunt. It's, you spook a lot too. You go into those areas and you're more likely to blow the hunt than to make the hunt. You're more likely to get picked off in a tree that's the size of your wrist around than you are, in a woods, right? But you got to get the buck to go into the woods with a million other people in there. So it's really about, for me, sticking to the plan of really determine where those deer live, and regardless of what I got to face, finding a way to hunt it.
Yeah. Yeah. You said something there. It's like sticking to the plan. Like that's something I feel like I did poor about this year. Like I had these places scouted out and I went in there and I would get indecisive and kind of fumble around in the woods a little bit too much. And that's what I meant. Like I need to have a better plan going in, whether that be, I need to go to this tree and this, and on this route. And I got to do better this year at that. I don't know go ahead.
I was going to say that one thing that you said stuck out to me too. You said something about making sure you have the tree picked out and knowing where you're going and stuff. And that's hurt me in the past a few different times. However, I often do go in and pick a tree the day I'm hunting. But my best kills are out of trees that I've pre-picked.
Yeah.
Pre-picked, I've gone up them. I'm kind of seen where I got to shoot. Not really hunted them before, because it's usually the first time hunting. But in springtime, when I'm out looking around, really fine-tune it to one or more trees. And I don't think it hurts you to fine-tune it to more than one tree in case something changes or, something's going on.
Yeah.
One of the other problems is you get up those trees and you look from the ground, you go from the trails and you look back and you're like, that's the spot I'm going to be. That's the spot I'm going to mark. And when you come back in the fall, brush cover grows them in, that you couldn't see because there's no leaf cover at this time of the year. So you really got to look at every little twig and everything when you're doing that. But it's so critical. I mean, you can't get in there and saw limbs. You can't get in there and make noise. You can't, when there's a deer 50, 60 yards from you, or like in the hills, you probably got them a little further away, 100 yards, 150. Yeah. But they're just over the hill or something. You break a branch, you climb too high, they're going to see you. So having a good plan and really understanding that plan for when you go in and having the timing down is critical. And it sounds easy for me and you to discuss that, but it's not as easy to actually do. I mean, you really got to get your timing down. You got to know what time that deer is going to be there, and not spook it before and not come in too late. You kind of got to get it down to the week, get in there on the day he's there, and execute. And even if you do everything right, there's a good chance that buck's not there that day. And you might get another hunt or two out of that spot. You might not, but your best hunt's going to be that first day. So you got to have a ton of those spots. have
Yeah.
a ton of different ways to hunt that buck if he's in that bedding area, because something can change. There can be a great acorn crop there wasn't the year before. There can be a great, corn crop there wasn't. Maybe this year they put in a fresh clover patch or alfalfa that's attracting the deer, and they just change the way they go through, or a tree falls down and they change their trail. You got to be flexible, but still have a system down and have a plan.